This is the homework for SBAC Review EMC 2 for Tuesday. For problem number 1, you need to find the slope and determine whether they are proportional or non-proportional. For the first one, to find the slope in the table, you do the rise over the run, or the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. So the difference of the y's, and I can use any of these values compared to the x values. So 8 minus 3 is 5, 1 minus 0 is 1. So the rise is 5 over 1, or the rate of change. And it doesn't matter which ordered pairs I choose, and I could even choose 18 minus 8 is 10, 3 minus 1 is 2, 10 divided by 2 is still 5. So the rate of change, or slope, for A is 5 over 1, which equals 5. For B, to find the slope, I first need to plot the ordered pairs. -2 on the x, 0 on the y, I'm not going anywhere on the y, and 2 on the x, and 4 on the y. Now I connect these points, and I find the rise over run. Remember, slope or rate of change is rise, and I'm rising 2 and running 2. So that's 2 over 2, which equals 1. I could also choose these 2 points. It's any 2 points where it meets the 2 intersecting lines. Here I can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, rise of 4, run of 1, 2, 3, 4, rise of 4, run of 4. So 4 divided by 4 is also 1. Next, I need to determine whether they are proportional. Remember, proportional means that two things. One, it's linear, has a constant rate of change. Well, both of these have constant rate of change. You can see that this is a rise of 5, run of 1. This one's rise of 2, run of 2. So it's linear. So it meets that criteria, that it's linear. The other part is, for it to be proportional, is that it has to go through the origin, which is 0, 0. And this one, you can see that it does not go through the origin at 0, 0. And this one, when it's x is 0, y is 3. So this is also non-proportional. Next, I had to find the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and when x is 0. So for this one, you can easily see that it crosses or intersects the y-axis at positive 2. So the y-intercept is positive 2. On this one, it's 3 because when x is 0, just like on the graph, when x is 0, so you're not going anywhere, and on the y-axis we're going at positive 3. So the y-intercept is positive 3. Now we have to write the equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b form. So m represents the slope, the rate of change, which is 5, and the b is the y-intercept, positive 3. Now, I would want to make sure that this is correct, and one way I can check is by plugging in the values from the table. So if x is 4, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23. So it is correct, and I can check it with another. For if x is 3, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. So it does work. Here, the slope is 1, and I don't need to put a value of 1 here because identity, property, multiplication, anything multiplied by 1 is itself, so it's just x. And then the y-intercept is 2. For C, I'm going to determine the slope, rise over run. And I can choose any 2 lattice points where it crosses, intersects, this line crosses. And here we have, from this point to this point, a rise of 1, run of 2. So 1 over 2. So the slope or rate of change, is 1 over 2, or 1/2. And that's constant rate of change, 1 over 2, 1 over 2. Next, I'm going to find the y-intercept, where it crosses or intersects the y-axis, and it crosses at the origin, 0. Now I have the equation in y equals mx plus b form. The slope is 1/2, the m, and the y-intercept, the b, is 0. So we don't need to put plus 0 here. We just leave it blank. So the equation is y equals 1/2 x. And again, I can check. For example, here, if I put in 2 for x, I should get 1 for y. So 1/2 of 2 is 1. That works. And I can try it here with 8. If I say x is 8, half of 8 is 4. And that is true. So this equation works. Is it proportional? Yes, because it satisfies that it's linear, constant rate of change, 1 over 2, 1 over 2, and its y-intercept is at the origin. It's 0, 0. What is the cost of apples for every pound? Well, we know for 2 pounds is $1. So 1 pound is going to be 50 cents. It's going to be half of that. And we could use our equation to do that. If the number of pounds, so if we're talking about every pound, 1 pound is, so x equals 1, half of 1 is 50 cents. So $1 for every 2 pounds, 1 pound costs 50 cents.